Good evening, cineasts, and welcome to the big Sleepover Moviecast. Tonight, from 1996, an American buddy cop action comedy film. Less descriptors than previous episodes. I like about 6 or 7 different subcategories in my film. Directed by Ernest Dickerson, who was the cinematographer for a bunch of Spike Lee films. And starring Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler, it's Bulletproof. So this was a favorite of mine. I have this on VHS. I've since bought the Blu-ray. I remember watching it over and over. It's kind of a crass comedy, but there's a nostalgic vibe there. I want to see it again. I haven't watched it probably since DVDs became more popular, and I never bought it after having it on VHS. But as a kid, rated R, lots of bad words, lots of funny toilet humor. Of course, The Sandman. I think this is the first time on this movie cast we are doing a Sandman film. Don't worry, there's lots more to sift through, including maybe one good one. Okay, 3 good ones. Damon Wayans also will make more appearances, as will all the Wayans brothers, all 10 of them, or however many there are, on this movie cast as well. The bad guy is James Caan. Can't go wrong there. Xander Berkeley's in this. Bill Nunn, who you recognize from a bunch of 90s films, and of course Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. And it's the film debut of Monica Potter. Now, something happened. Ernest Dickerson said in an interview that, quote, "There's a movie I did a couple years ago called Bulletproof. I'd like to just erase that whole experience. You know, I'm proud of a lot of the films I've done, but there's some situations that happened that in retrospect, maybe I could have handled them a little differently if I'd been smarter about it, but that's all second guessing." So does he mean he would just wish he hadn't done the film, and that's the second guessing, or was there some conflict? Sounds like there may have been some conflict. Interesting that a guy who worked with Spike Lee had trouble with Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler, or maybe it was with Caan. The film grossed $22.6 million, but I have no idea what the cost was, so that could be probably just about break even, I'm guessing. As I recall, there's some fairly big explosions in this, so we'll see if some of the money's on the screen. It doesn't have good reviews, but not everything we cover here on this movie cast is good by any means. So let's see if this one holds up on its own. Let's see if it's dated or offensive. I remember it being very, at least, homophobic, as were lots of movies in the 90s. Not excusing it, just saying that was kind of a common theme. And yeah, you know, I kind of remember the buddiness between the two working out pretty well. Damon Wayans is kind of the straight man in this too, and he can be wacky as all shit. So anyway, strap on in and let's watch this film. Alrighty, you know the drill. The title track is pulled up and set to 0000. Let's begin the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. You should see the Universal logo. Using one of the older ones. I like it. We'll have to see how this transfer. This already does not look good. It looks like a DVD upscaling. Probably is. Doubt you're going to get a nice rescan of this. Old Jimmy Caan. Two cars in every garage. Just stealing a car in front of a well-lit house. Just opening fire. I don't think that's legal, but all right. Yeah, so I guess I never questioned like that they're bad at their job, maybe. And I mean, we know the plot, so spoilers if you haven't seen this film, probably go watch it. But as an undercover, can you do everything Wayans is going to do here? Couldn't they like just forward, in his reports that he gives, they would just be like, "Don't follow us after this theft"? Or is this to establish credibility with Sandler? Oh wait, the other cop cars that just drove by, yeah. I mean, they reported a stolen Ferrari. Yep, well there you go. Sandler's actually laughing during this, but and that sums up Adam Sandler's humor in my opinion. Gumbo. I'll take some of that gumbo maybe. Yeah, transfer isn't fantastic, but it doesn't look like just a DVD upscale. Good hip hop from the mid 90s here. This film was released one day before Tupac was shot. Mm. You're fucking Heine. Okay, I remember that line. That was said many, many a times. Kick him in the balls? Who was saying that? Oof. I don't think you'd come back from a neck hit with a pool cue. Damon's jacked for sure. So stay tuned for the Bruce Willis film where Wayans is also in their Last Boy Scout. That's a good, some good. Two burritos and some pastor or whatever that is. Mug root beer. Shout out. Those burritos look good. Oops. See, the casual cursing is realistic here. I like the dialogue. Adam Sandler's grinny ass face. Look at that coat. Mo. His regular car is a GT convertible. Shit. They're in LA. There's Grandma's boy. Sandler's boy. So I guess he did know who he was. Chin strap beards. I had one. Archie Moses, the Jew. Archibald Moses. Nope, it's never a good idea in film. Damn. Kind of a big house for a car salesman, IRS would think. Um, that's the same house as Beverly Hills Cop, apparently. Nice 90s shades. Little testing a partnership here. A la Jesus. Yep, who wouldn't with a neck like that? Yep. It could be worse. Mm-mm. Haven't we thought of better places to put wires in 50 years or whatever? Sew it into the fucking shirt. Put it as a button, you know? Come on. Sweet on is a weird term, but again, I would be making fun of him too. And if you start to like admit this stuff before a major event, aren't you obligated to take him off the case? Roller coaster of love. Say what? Spuds McKenzie. Remember that line too. Video game reveal. The new metal in this is quite strong too. I forgot about that. Heroin. Bible's always a good place for drugs. Son of a bitch. There's that anger that Sandman acts with too. Yeah, action scenes not really that big. There's some stunt with a plane coming up, but I mean, he's likely to die anyway, but whatever. Really bad at your job as an undercover. You fall in love with a dude, nice squib work though. We'll never get used to seeing all CGI gunfights in top high budget action films. It's just stupid. But now after that whole fiasco, that gun going off and that Alec Baldwin TV show, I mean, oh, poor doggy. Spuds. Why would he just silently stand there and wait to get shot? Clearly not Adam Sandler, but, you know. Could die just from that. Can you have flat tires on a military spec Humvee? I know it's not military, it's a Hummer GMC brand. Cock meat sandwich. I always thought he was going to put his dick in his mouth, but nope. That's a good move. Nice little clip show they put in here. Beautiful nurse. How long has he been out? And this is his first introduction. I mean, doesn't he have family? Maybe not, I guess. No one from work showed up for him waking up out of a coma. Well, the plot's got to move quick, you know. Patients falling for their nurses. I've talked about this archetype before. Hemingway. English Patient. What else? It's Adam Sandler's other boy. So I guess Adam Sandler wanted Wayans to do this film. Oaktown. Is this too short? Now what's funky? I say pussy on an old hoe. So you need lyrics like that. Aw, it's a little chewy bowl. He's not driving, but is it illegal to be drunk in a non-moving off car? Apparently so. This would not exist, this part, right? I mean, they would just say no way. How does he know he's still alive? And yeah, I guess he was in hiding for what, months through physical therapy, although they made it seem like he just drove. I don't know. Timing doesn't work. Wow. She's always shot in weird, shady light, which is perhaps a directorial choice, but I mean, how do you know? How? Yeah, exactly. Ooh. Wasn't that his first day back? We jump in time arbitrarily here. And here we go. This scene, I think, was in all the adverts, but two heads. Mm-hmm. The escorting of the prisoner has also been done. Now, why wouldn't they have a car? Why would you march? Like, where are they even coming from? I don't even see that house in the background. So they've marched for what, miles? 2 miles down that track? Walk slower. And you're a trained DEA agent and you just look at bodies. A little Mad Max thrown in here for good measure. Great squibs, though. That's saving it for me. Looks better. Even this kind of like action looks better than modern. See, the real blood, or not real, but like physical fake blood. Well, another pilot murdered. Really does move quick here. Another good line. It's a pretty big stunt. Although it's, composite, but you had to get a plane to do all that, so. Can we make LA? Yeah, really got a guy up there doing that. Cut his engines. Yep, through determination, even though it has, nothing possible, he somehow lands it. I mean, that wouldn't happen. And yeah, that fucking desert terrain, bullshit. Rocks and cacti everywhere. But I mean, the script called for all this dramatic positioning, so kudos to the director for finding a way to put it in there. I would have said lives, but it's realistic. Why would the drug lord invest so much in him? That relationship was not defined either. Neither Adam Sandler nor Damon there. Very, very different stunt doubles. You can see how much smaller that is, but whatever. Interesting how the Red Hot Chili Peppers version of Roller Coaster permeated 1996. Of course, very well featured in the Beavis and Butthead animated film. It's decent acting. I'll give him that. Both of them do a pretty good job, and they're not too over the top. I've got piss on me. There's some good humorous things in this little adventure here. This is the buddy part. I don't know. I mean, that heat. Don't know when this was shot. They were wearing, cold weather clothes, so maybe that's why, but more likely to freeze than if it really is Arizona in winter. His dick would be out. I like the continued narrative, though. That's funny. This is definitely how, like. And then suddenly there's a forest. I mean, you walked all the way to what, Tahoe? I don't. This doesn't track. You walk north to Flagstaff, maybe? I mean, clearly back in California somewhere. Yep. This guy, I remember being pretty good. And we get a little monologue from Sandman. Yeah. What do you respond to with that? The ultra direct conversation. Yep, of course he does. He's probably masturbating every inch of that place. There's your homophobia as well. Not going to sell them the room if they're gay. Wow. I like Sandman's reversal on that homophobia, playing into it. I do like Adam in this. It's a good throwaway scene here in the middle. Available as I mean they have more rooms. More Sandler chewing up the scenery. This was all my favorite part, I remember as a kid, because of all the, again, that scene with Sandman and the clerk or whatever you call it, the attendant, and then what happens next. Please take that thing out of my ass. Mm, so foamy. Could have rinsed himself off. I mean, he has time. But it'll disguise his nudity cleverly. Stunt butt or Sandman. It's definitely a stunt butt. Sup, Chuck? Please take that out of my ass. Beaver pelt. There is a beaver, Utah. Oh, ha ha ha. Was he mad he didn't like his joke? Why would she be wearing that unless she's fucking someone else? And she looks damn good in that. Nice. He had it in his ass the whole time. Still good. Why are you sharing that? Except you're not. course it's not. Why would it be? See, I think Sandler not being in the position he likes to cast himself in, and we'll talk about this in all his movies, but it's a well-known thing that he's always the best athlete, the best of this, gets the hottest girl in all his films, and it's just stupid. But having him contained like this is better. Oh, he put some turds in there. Forgot about that part. That's fucking brutal, man. I think you could find a way to flush it though. See, he's taking the suggestion. Yeah, and he must be bisexual. Oh, he's dead anyway. Yeah, I feel like maybe you could get it flushed somehow with your head, top of your head or something. Where are they getting this grenade launcher? Such a big dude. Also, there's no reason to put a laser sight on a short barreled automatic weapon. It looks cool, I guess. It was a damn good first flip. Smacking of the lips was a little stupid, but whatever. Why didn't they just take the key from the desk clerk? Good instincts. God, that would hurt so bad. His head's fully in the toilet. I missed that part previously. I guess there really isn't a lot of sex other than this fake porno. Doesn't Carter have a gun? You might want to take one of those guns that, you there's several you could take back there. I mean, this scene, of course, I remember in Harold and Kumar with Freak Show. Always seemed a parallel. I reminded me so much of it. It's a good scream. Guess not, Charlie. I remember that. That's a great answer. Well, yeah. Yeah, this is such a strange character turn for Charlie, but scotch and working out and cigarettes. That's cool. I believe that's actually probably realistic to what Khan would do. That's good writing. I like that. I mean, Charlie doesn't want to call the cops. He's just down to do that. You can't bribe all cops, so local cops out of state probably would not be under his payroll. I mean, fair. I guess the whole FBI is bought out by this guy, though. Character development. Mom, are you high? Mom, are you high? Oh, let her smoke that weed, man. I mean, the whore in Mexico comment, I don't really get the. Xander Berkeley. Such an intense name. God, I mean, so I believe those two are innocent. We'll have to double check, but I mean, that's right there. Would eventually you would get caught for that. Yeah, I mean, they could die from that. I mean, maybe. I mean, you could also describe it. You could say something bumped into me. Bromance. But I guess we take that at face value, that he was correct and they were part of his payroll. So his precinct is also corrupt. Everyone's corrupt. What's up, Grandma's boy? Khan really kind of phoned this one in, didn't he? Wonder how long he was on set for. It's kind of a big get for them, but I guess his career was kind of. That's a DEA person? Should have suspended him long ago for his behavior, but, whatever. And they all have guns. Wouldn't you? Those people on the street wouldn't just sit there watching, would they? Oh, now you draw your guns? Come on. Yeah, I guess Sandler was, of course, the bigger name, being on SNL at the time, the 90s SNL. That's not why. Salt and pepper? Ooh, God, what a shot. Yeah, he certainly was as close to Colton is, if not more, than he and Carter were. So, doesn't make any sense, right? Kind of a hypocrite for betraying, this drug dealer. I guess there's a strong anti-drug message in this. Must be nice to be rich, you know? Epic death. Video game like progression again. I remember that. Yeah, I mean, this film isn't great, is it? It's very mid, as the kids would say. Even the photography questionable. I mean, this is a cinematographer. I guess he thought all this lighting stuff was cool, but well, why would she do all this stuff beforehand if she's just going to do that? So now she betrayed him, just like he betrayed Moses, just like Moses betrayed Colton. It's a series of betrayals here and false confidence artists, all of them. I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, she's very bad at her job, too. Yeah, very slow. You know, this is the climax, and it's very empty, very slow, very unlike Commando or Beverly Hills Cop or any of these other, you know, where the last scene is a huge buildup. Instead, it's very, very anticlimactic, especially for Colton knowing they're coming. These guys are just eating in the kitchen. Some terrible plot holes here. I mean, this director has gone on to have quite a career, mostly in television, but, you know, I wonder how he let all this squeak by. This soundtrack is obnoxious. I mean, she deserved worse. She was going to kill you because she's a woman. You're just going to let that go? That's the stupidest thing you could do. She's dangerous as fuck. Nice. Good job, Khan. A little bit of a fight here. Ultra close up, so you can't see that there's no action happening. Plus, it was over very quickly. Why would you want to get your story straight with someone you're going to murder? And he's an excellent shot. Where's he going to go? They'd find him. Plus, they'd arrest fucking Carter for letting him go. So he is not the smartest tool in the shed. Yeah, I forgot. The third act here is terrible, and the ending is bad, like really bad. Ace Ventura bad. The third act just kind of, comes together barely. But where are all the people? I mean, this guy has, FBI agents and DEA agents in his pocket, and yet the world you're creating is not well thought. Who are these super hot waitresses in this disheveled place? Yeah. Okay. Well, at least there is an explanation. I don't think that was, I think it was pinche, right? Not bench. So they live together. Oh, he's dead. She's high. She didn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's really bad. Half baked, we would call it. Ending is terrible. A lot of questionable cinematography from a cinematographer. No real direction. Editing is quick but terrible. Writing's bad. Anyway, still was a favorite of mine. There's a couple funny scenes in there, and there's a seriousness to it. And the fact that it's rated R is just good. It's not even gratuitous, but it's, rated R for language. Give me more rated R for language films. Anything that's offensive or not offensive, but challenging. I mean, God. And a little weird, just the two of us that isn't Will Smith. Ugh. Anyway, with that, guys, let's wrap it up. See you next time.